Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Hog Talk Podcast, live from the Sterling Soap and Roastery Studios, part of the Believe in Buzz Radio Network, where you can hear us each week on 106.7 Buzz 2 in Central Arkansas. All live shows are presented to you by Arkansas Brewing Company in downtown Ozark. I am Porter Hayes. Alongside me, as always, is Adam Hall, and we are still on our off-season series. Tonight, we're going to go rogue a little bit. We're going to talk World Cup tonight. We're going to talk about the impact it's had on other nations. We're going to talk about the impact it's had on Americans and just that in a gist of everything we've seen this past 2 weeks and going forward, what this means to us personally, me and Adam. Also, we'll talk about some portal news in the second segment and then choose Arkansas. We will talk about their new initiative and what they have moving forward. But first, before we start, the morning started off kind of rough for people in Ozark. There was a tornado warning. I really want to shout out the guys at Arkansas Weather Network. Zachary Hall and his team were covering this thing through and through. Really gave me a chance to reach out to my people in Ozark to make sure everybody was okay long before the storm was warned. The news channels come on when the storm was warned a little bit afterwards. So, I mean, just to be frank, a little disappointed in how the news stations kind of dropped after, it got to Fort Smith and it almost seemed like they dropped. But Arkansas Weather Network was there from the jump, really helped people. So big shout out to those guys and what they do. If you're not following them, please follow them. Because I thank them much. The tornado was a block from my son's house where he lives with his mother. So, it's one of them things that he wakes up worried about everything. But he was watching Arkansas Weather Network and was able to talk to his mother about where it was at, and it was literally a block from his house. So really want to start off with that. But Adam, we're just going to jump right into this thing. And you've been talking about this. I know Hog HQ Live, y'all talked about this last night for a little bit, but the World Cup coming in, you did not think much about the impact it would have on the citizens of the United States and more so other countries. We've seen all the funny videos. We've seen the Buckies. We've seen everything. It's insane that rabbit holes you can go down of how they're eating our food and they love our food and just everything that's going on with it. Honestly, Adam, we're going to spend a lot of time on this. We might spend our whole first segment on just this part alone, but man, it's just been an amazing experience watching all these people take over countries. And, you're seeing in stadiums, they're seeing in country roads, they're bringing in their own American culture to these people. And I just can't say enough about what we're witnessing with all this.
The rabbit holes are definitely like you can get lost for hours just watching all the videos. It at times gets you a little bit emotional seeing like the camaraderie, the unity, just because everything has been so divisive in this world. Seeing, we've been told for so long that all these other countries don't like us, but then we're seeing these videos of the appreciation that these folks have had for us. It's been amazing to see, and it kind of like just kind of jerks at your emotions a bit because you just see like all the fun and the love and the compassion that people actually have for each other. And like I said, we've been told for so long that this anti-American propaganda, if you will, that's out there. And I know even leading up to the World Cup, I was even one that was kind of like, oh, this is not going to go well just because of everything that's going on. But everybody has come together. I mean, small town USA. And then when I say small town USA, yes, these host cities are large cities and whatnot, but a lot of these teams are staying in smaller towns, and they're getting embraced by, Lawrence, Kansas, Customer, Alabama. I mean, Providence, Rhode Island, which I know is a little bit bigger, but just seeing the happiness and the joy and the surprise of a lot of these people. It's amazing to see.
Well, you had that guy from Britain or whatever that come to Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
A couple,
Jason,
Josh and
Jace,
yeah. And the amount of people from around Arkansas come here, come to us, come see us, go to the Buffalo River. This is going to be a tough segment for me to get through because I remember 9/11. I remember it vividly. I remember how we were when the attacks happened and everything that it did to the country. But I also, one of my favorite sports memories of all time, outside of when Clemson won their first national championship, when President Bush went out in the World Series and threw that first pitch, and hearing the country chant USA, 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 and hearing the crowd and the roar, and you couldn't do that today. There's absolutely no way that would happen in today's world, in today's climate, with those emotions and true emotions. You're going to have one side that's sitting there cheering because they are for, and then you're going to have people mocking the other side. We're seeing all this stuff. Well, we got this World Cup going on and we're cheering. We're talking about reflection pools and we're talking about what he does and what you do. And we're pointing, and families are getting divided. Friends are getting divided. But you go back to 9/11 and what that meant with when the firefighters and the police officers played in the football game afterwards. How everything you got brought together in unity. And that's what we're missing. We're missing unity. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants their side to be right. And it's filtered over. You look at sports today, all you see is debate shows. And I get myself involved in the debates, and you want to be right and you want to be wrong. And that's where we are. We're so busy wanting to prove ourselves that we're right, to not sit here and look at this, the Dutch and the orange, the Norway and the row. It's like we were letting other countries come over here and tell us how good we have it. Meanwhile, we want to fight each other. We want to argue with each other. We want to be decisive. And that's where we need to get back to. And maybe this World Cup will get there, but just seeing all this stuff and knowing where we were 20 something years ago, to over 25 years ago. Look at this. This isn't small stuff. We're watching people take over big towns. And again, like you said, other countries were saying we were told to hate America. We were told that it was wrong. You wouldn't be welcomed. And look at everything that's going on. So I think we need to really take a page out of their book and see what's going on with this World Cup. Embrace it, and maybe us be a better Americans, because they're coming over here and they're taking over, and they're really showing us how hospitable we are. Mm-hmm. And it's not just the South, it's all over the country. It's amazing to see. And I will never forget this World Cup as long as I live, because of the memories and everything we're seeing with this, and the funny stuff, the Buc-ee's and the barbecue and everything that's going on. But this right here that we're seeing, it's unmatched. It's unmatched. And I think we need to learn from this.
Well, and who would have thought 20 years ago, post 9/11, and this was a video I may have added it to this. I forget the town. It may have been Boston. But having thousands of Iraqi fans carrying their flags through, and there was no hostility behind it. They were celebrating. We were all celebrating. What the Scots have done in the Northeast.
Besides drinking the ball.
But like the video I sent you earlier. That's something that we haven't seen, really much in the news. But, the Scots came over here and they were staying in Providence, and they donated $10,000 to the children's hospital over there for what they did. They stood outside of the children's hospital doing their chants and just putting on a show for the children at that hospital. Here's the Iraqi video.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting here and that's something that the news should be covering.
Mm-hmm.
That should be front of face. They're coming over here and donating to our children's hospitals. They're coming over here and funneling. I watched a video last night. This girl.
Yeah, here it is. The Tartan Army right here. Yeah.
This girl was going through her haul of what she took back to England or somewhere in Europe or whatever, but it was like $3,500 worth of stuff from like Target, Walmart, etc. It was just stuff that she took back from over here. And I'm just like,
Ranch.
this is
Ranch dressing.
They also should have been informed, hey, get dry ranch packets. Stop trying to, smuggle in bottles of ranch to TSA, the TSA issues or whatever. But I mean, this is just, everybody's just having to, right here, Argentina fans taking over Terry Black's barbecue down in Texas. I mean, just having a good old time.
And then the one where they were singing Sweet Caroline in the bar, like it's they're taking our traditions and they're making it their own flair and they're coming together. It's beautiful.
There was a video that I saw, which I just saw for the first time a little bit ago, but it was
right there. I didn't mean to cut you off. That right there. Good. We are not our leaders. We are not our governor. We are not the anger shouted across podiums. If we could screenshot anything, that right there needs to be the motto of what's going on right now.
But seeing it, one of the games, one of the stadiums, Prince William, who will be the next king of England, Princess Diana's son, which how stoic usually the kings and queens and all they are. He was sitting there just belting out Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
With everybody else in the stadium. I mean, that's what this has done. You've got the prince singing, belting out, the next king of England belting out Sweet Caroline at one of the games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy what this is doing.
Yeah. I mean, again, I hadn't seen nothing like this since 9/11.
And I told you, I sent you that video earlier, like you talking about the events after 9/11. 2 days, which we couldn't clip this up or get flagged because of how wrestling WWE is.
Yeah.
But 2 days after, the first sporting event was Thursday Night SmackDown, and the very first thing was Vince McMahon coming out with a 4 to 5 minute speech about this nation and moving forward and not backing down, and like there's just. And then you had all the wrestlers up on the stage, sitting there standing. It's crazy to see because we haven't had that. We haven't had this since then.
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
No, we haven't. And I don't know if we ever will. I don't know if I hope and I pray that this is a turning point. I really do. I really think that in our hearts, we should take this as look what sports has done. And that was the beauty about everything that America was healing about after 9/11. They turned to sports, and we've got away from that. We've taken sports and we've turned it political. When it's like you just want to turn your TV on and you want to watch sports and you want to unwind and you want to relax and you want to have happiness and joy, but it's even in those moments you can't. There's no hiding from it. There's no running away from it. There's nothing that you can do that kind of gives you a break. And you wonder why we're so stressed all the time. You wonder why we hate each other. There's no break from it. Nobody back when in the 80s, and I mean, nobody talked about it. And maybe that's social media is just such a bad thing that other than this, I mean, the downside of social media is there's just no break anymore. There's nobody just being able to chill and relax and unwind and watch a game without anything. And nobody can be neutral. You got to pick sides. Why do we got to pick sides? Why can't we just all be together and love one another? I mean, look how everything's going on. It's to me, that's the way I've always been, is I just want unity and I want us to come together. But until we can stop pointing fingers and wanting the other side to be wrong so bad, I don't see it happening. But again, maybe this is the turning point of where we can come together and look and see how beautiful all this is.
And I sent you and I sent DP and Hart the GIF earlier of Will Smith in the empty living room from Fresh Prince. And it was, this is how it's going to feel after the World Cup. And I truly feel like that just because it's going to feel weird. It's just, and Matt is right here. Normal people see the commonality, the elite see a problem. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
absolutely.
We just there's division that's caused, and I think that this could bring us to a point where we're finally together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm not saying, and obviously, peacefully do things or whatever, but realize that we're all in this together because we're more equal than our government is.
Yes. And that's the thing. They're sitting up there and we can say we want this and we want that. We're for this, we're for that, but all they're doing up there is laughing at us.
Mm-hmm.
They want us to hate each other. They want us to be divided. They want us to keep on doing this because that just shows them what they're doing. And a lot of it is, there's a lot of stuff that's being come to light that what's going on. But again, we can't even get out of our own way with it. And DP made a great point last night. This is soccer in America.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the Super Bowl. This isn't football. This isn't college football. This isn't March Madness. This isn't the College World Series. This is a sport that's probably 6th or 7th on the list of sports that, so let's go, you got college basketball, college sports, then you have hockey, basketball, the Super Bowl. There's probably 5 or 6 on the list of sports that matter in America. And this is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And more so than the Olympics. I haven't seen this in even if the Olympics has its own feel to it, but how this World Cup is, and I think a lot of it is we're really getting a taste of, we think football in the South and our crowds and this and that. Yes, they're coming over and looking at our football stadiums and they're like, this is a high school stadium. But we got to look across the pond and we got to look over the world, this is how they are in every game. I've seen dart competitions where 10,000 people are doing this at a dart competition. And the passion and the camaraderie and how they come together. Again, I can't say enough how beautiful all this has been. And just like you said, you get in your feels, you get in your emotions, because this is what I want everybody to be all day, every day.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny too, sitting there, like, I say funny, seeing clips from the games of Norwegian chants or Scottish chants or, whoever else. And then the US coming in with, chants that they've, it's crazy to see what they all come up with, but how unified they are when they do it. And I will say too, I mean, obviously after the United States won against Australia to go to the round of 32, sitting there and seeing the entire stadium, seeing Country Roads, and the players just looking around, singing with them or what. I mean, that was just crazy to see, because you even had Australian fans singing it. I mean, it was everybody in the stadium. And I saw one video and it was just kind of like, I think it was after that game, it was an Australian fan that was just kind of like, I felt weird leaving because a lot of the American fans kept looking at us like feeling bad because they look at it differently.
Well, you think about this, something to just come up. Think about, we're watching all this, all these fans. And I'm sure there's people, they've just played each other, and fans look at all the carnage that happened with the whole NBA finals and people getting beat in the streets for wearing the other team's jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Look what this is doing. Look what's going on.
You have
right
fans
here.
doing jersey swaps. Whereas if, let's just use me and DP as an example with our teams. If I was to go to a Pittsburgh Steelers game in my Ravens jersey, I'm going to be ridiculed, trash talked, like this, that, and the other. And you've got fans here of opposing teams, opposing countries, swapping jerseys, giving each other their flags, doing, this, that. And it is just crazy. Like that, there's so much love there. Whereas here, we're just so...
You can't walk down the street without getting beaten. I mean, and when we say there's a difference between trash talk, we love trash talk. Yeah. When you are walking down and you're literally surviving, you're getting beat in the streets, or you're getting your jersey ripped off of you. And you know what? Nobody's helping. They're filming. They want to get it on TikTok. They want to get it on social media. They're sitting there watching, laughing. They're not coming together. They're not trying to stop it. They let it happen. And then after people are bloodied, then they want to step in and do something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's incredible how two different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Two different worlds, what we're watching right now. And we're not even, I mean, if everything plays out, if America wins their first game in the round of 32 and England wins their game,
we could play on July 4th.
How incredible would that be? And again, I keep on thinking of things as we're talking about this. Look at the UFC event that was held at the White House, and they had the flyover, and there was a lot of amazing things, but there was so much decisiveness of what was going on with that they couldn't sit back and enjoy it. Me, I sat back and I enjoyed every bit of it because I'm an American. I loved I didn't care what stood for what. It's the fact that I seen this going on, and it's like, y'all want to complain about paint and a reflecting pool and blah, 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 and emails, and there's stuff going on where we have child trafficking and we have people stealing money and all this, but we want to focus on pointing fingers.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get back to this, because I'm telling you right now, I needed this. I needed this because I get lost in debates. I get lost in trying to be right. I get lost in the LeBron and MJ and to the ones that are saying that Caitlin Clark's the best women's player of all time. You get lost in that, and it turns you into somebody else. And then you have something like this, and it makes you really be like, why am I doing that? Why am I not saying having debates, but getting in the point where you're pissed. Yeah. You get in angry, and like you're going to change somebody else's opinion, and you're not changing yours. And it's no different. Mm-hmm. But that's what happens. I want to be so right that I'm fine with acting like a fool just to try to be right. And this has taught me a lesson of sit back and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. And, something in the way I've been for a long time when it comes to debates sometimes there's a lot of times that I get to the point where I'm just like, you know what, agree to disagree. It's just because I want to end the conversation. I want to end the argument. I can accept that you're not going to agree with me, and I just want it over. But then there's those people that they're like, no, you're not going to do that. Like, we're going to keep this going.
Yep.
And then, when it comes to political things and this, that, and the other, I mean, the division is so that we focus on one thing so that other things can get swept under the rug so that we don't see it.
Yeah.
We're going to put this in the headlines and make you focus on this so that we can do this. And I think that this is just showing us that there's more to this world than fighting and arguing. I mean, I watched a video yesterday of, it was about 10 or so American fans. I believe it may have been in Philadelphia. I could be wrong on that. But it was about 10 or so American fans, and they were asked point blank period, how's it going to be? How receptive are you going to be to the Iranian fans? And they said, we're going to welcome them.
Yeah.
Our issue is not with them.
Mm-hmm.
This is an issue between the governments. This is this, that, and the other. But it was just we're going to welcome them because we don't have an issue with them.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was good to hear, because you just see so many people in the comment sections, which is why I stay away from a lot of comment sections, especially on local news sources and whatnot. Just because
but that's another thing. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's I could say, hey man, I want $1,000 a day on a scratch off, or you could have any kind of thing. And there's always that comment, or there's always somebody trying to be cute, or they turned it into an issue, or it's exhausting,
mm-hmm.
and while like this right here, you sent this to me, and this is a farmer.
This is in Lawrence, Kansas.
Algeria
is staying in Lawrence, Kansas, and he put their flag in his field. They had a bunch of people standing around it chanting like Viva Algeria, whatever they were chanting. He doesn't want to remove it. He will not even step on the field out of disrespect for stepping on another country's flag in Lawrence, Kansas.
Yeah.
Just because of the respect that we have for ours. I saw another video too, and it was fans that were here on National Flag Day, and I forget what city they were staying in. But they went to some ceremony for our National Flag Day, and they were amazed at the respect that we have for, our flag and things like that.
I'd seen that. Somebody was walking around, they're like, man, their flags are everywhere.
Mhm.
And somebody was talking about coming to America, and they're talking about, yeah, it's nice to go to Vegas and Miami and New York and the big cities. He said, go outside the cities.
Mm.
He said, go outside. And they're talking about walking down these streets, and like, people leave their doors unlocked, and you're talking about small town America, and that's where you're going to find the hospitality, and you're going to find the real culture. And I don't know, this is one thing, like, I just seeing how all this played out, but it really makes you reflect on it. It changes you. It changes your outlook on how you want to carry your life from here on out, and how you want to be a better person instead of arguing all the time or just to be right. And that's what I'm taking away from this. And I wanted to go. I mean, honestly, if the tickets weren't so daggum high, I was going to go. I can't remember what year it was, but the Ivory Coast, they qualified for the World Cup for the first time ever. And they were in a civil war. And they stopped the civil war. There was literally a picture in a magazine of two tanks pointing at each other. And it stopped the civil war so they could watch their country play in the World Cup. I mean, that's the thing. It happened. It's happened before, but to see it firsthand, see it in your country, I'll never forget it. I never will.
I just hope that after this is done, we can remember this to make ourselves better moving forward.
Absolutely. Well, we'll end segment one right there. Again, just if you haven't watched any of it yet, be sure to watch. I mean, the World Cup, go down those rabbit holes, look and see how everybody sees us, and maybe it will make us see ourselves even better. But
most of the videos that you're going to want to find are going to be on TikTok, Instagram, because Facebook is scrubbing a lot of it. So just to let y'all know.
Crazy. Yeah. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. After the break, we'll jump into Razorback sports. We'll talk some portal news. A Michigan coach left. What does that mean for Arkansas? And then we'll talk around about the Choose Arkansas's new initiative and how they're pushing forward with theirs and our support for them. We'll be right back after a break. Searching for premium brewery products that will take your daily routine to the next level? Look no further than Sterling Soap Company. Our handmade soaps, aftershaves, and balms are made with only the finest ingredients that give you the ultimate grooming experience. With a variety of scents to choose from, there's something for everyone. Plus, our products are crafted in small batches to ensure the highest level of quality. So why wait? Visit www.sterlingsoap.com or visit our retail store at 16 West Walnut Street in Paris, Arkansas. Shop our collection and discover the difference for yourself. Upgrade your grooming routine with Sterling Soap Company. Are you looking for a place to grab a cold drink and some delicious food? Look no further than Arkansas Brewing Company. Located at 201 South 1st Street in beautiful downtown Ozark, our establishment offers a wide selection of craft beers and tasty eats. But what sets us apart is our welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. At Arkansas Brewing Company, you'll always feel like part of the family. So visit Destiny and Christopher Brockett and staff today and see for yourself what makes us the go-to spot for locals and visitors alike. Arkansas Brewing Company, come for the drinks and stay for the friends. Attention DIYers and home improvement enthusiasts. Are you searching for the right tools and supplies to tackle your next project? Look no further than Mentor's Hardware Store. With locations in Ozark, Alma, and Clarksville, our vast selection of hardware and building materials is sure to have everything you need. Whether you're fixing a leaky faucet or building a new deck,
Plus, our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to offer expert advice and guidance. And with our competitive prices and convenient online ordering, Meadows Hardware Store is your one-stop shop for all your DIY needs. Visit us today and let's build something amazing together.
Are you looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than ATU Ozark Campus. As a 2-year satellite campus of Arkansas Tech University, we're dedicated to a quality workforce education, industry partnerships for in-demand jobs, and tailored paths for success. Our programs are led by industry professionals. Whether it's a certificate or you're aiming for a graduate degree, ATU Ozark has you covered. Visit our website at www.atu.edu/Ozark or contact us at 479-667-2117. Your future begins here. Welcome to Ozark Area Chamber of Commerce, where our mission is simple: encourage, promote, and aid an enduring environment of shared economic opportunity and civic development for the Ozark, Arkansas area. Whether you're a local business owner or a resident, we've got something for you. Shop our unique local businesses, explore the beauty of Ozark, and savor local flavors and find cozy accommodations. Join us in building a stronger community. And to learn more, contact us at 479-667-2525. Remember, together we thrive. And welcome back to the Hog Talk podcast. And Ty, we'll see this. Yeah, Facebook would rather promote 2-0 OU. Game 3 of the College World Series. Now we'll get into the sports and stuff in the second segment, but let's just speak about that. What will be the reception if OU pulls this off and wins a baseball national championship?
We won't hear the end of it. OU, I mean, they join the SEC, and then they win a baseball national championship. And here,
meanwhile, going sub 500 in the SEC beforehand, and
yeah,
they got hot. There was one guy. I think he had no home runs or something like that, and he's hit, or no, what was it? OU was ranked way high up in the home run rankings. And the other night when they played, it was before the championship series. I can't remember who they played to get into the championship series. Was it North Carolina?
No, they're playing North Carolina right now.
They're playing North Carolina right now. I'm trying to think of who they played to get to the championship, but it was Georgia. That's who it was. They had moved up to 30th in the country just for how many home runs they've hit in the postseason. And Georgia had 100 more home runs than them leading up to their meeting. As a team in the regular season, Georgia hit over 100 more home runs than OU did as a team. And OU was just teeing off on them.
I mean, we're not going to hear the end of it. And I forget the score of the games. I'm going to look those up real quick. OU, UNC. Because I know, like, a lot of people didn't think it was going to come to a game 3 just because of whatever the score was of game 1. I just forget what it was.
Oh, it was like 13 to it was a massacre. It was like 13-2 or 13-3 or something like that.
It's something that, I mean, we're not gonna hear at the end of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm on ESPN right now, and OU won 9-3.
And then UNC won 6-2.
Yeah, 6-2.
It's I don't want to say sickening, but then I also feel like that's kind of where I'm at with it. Transplanted OU getting a championship, but before Arkansas, who would think OU also beat Kansas in Supers, the same team that stomped Arkansas. Yeah. And then OU completely changed their starting rotation, 3 freshman starters. And so that you're adapting to what's going on with your team, which we've kind of talked about an issue with Dave Van Horn.
Yeah. And they OU won 11-4. They beat Georgia 11-4 in that game to get them to clinch, and they beat them like that. That didn't even go to an if game. Like they beat them game 1, and then the game 2. to give them that second loss. It was 11-4. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those things where it makes you. But then again, where does this go to? Does this go on Dave Van Horn? Does it go on the fact that he doesn't have the NIL help? I talked to Kevin Bohannon, and I said, look, grade this transfer portal season. They wanted to say, well, they made it to Omaha and got a late start on recruiting. Well, now they did it, and he gave them a B, the catcher, and then they need some more pitching. What was his words on what he gave this? And to me, a B is not going to cut it.
No.
Unless you pull off an OU and you go on a tear, but you've got to have the want to. You've got to have that one. You got to the win. And I think this OU coach has not been there that long.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know how long he's been there at OU, but still, it's crazy. Maybe we go back to the good old curse. Does it go back to the good old curse that this just keeps on happening to Arkansas? What's going to break that curse? But he's
been there since 2018.
Okay. And maybe I think it was the Georgia coach.
Georgia coach is new like a few years.
Yeah.
I look at this, like what you mentioned with what Kevin said about the transfer portal and whatnot, and we always need pitchers. That's an issue every single year because we have the closer, but we don't have the starting rotation, or we have the starting rotation, but we don't. It's one of those, and we've talked about this before too, about going and buying a Paul Skeens, going and buying one of these pitchers that are going to be the number 1 draft picks.
Yeah.
And we haven't done it yet. So yeah, I think that NIL, Dave can only do so much. I don't know what OU's NIL is for baseball. And maybe it's an issue, with player development. Maybe it's an issue with the assistant coaches. And we've talked about that issue before too. Maybe there needs to be a change in the assistant coaches.
Yeah.
Maybe there needs to stop being so much loyalty there because you're only getting so far. Something's got to change because, there's only so much time left for Dave Van Horn.
Well, and does he have to go, how Cal is with Tyson in the pocketbook? Does he have to go to the hunts and say, hey, look, I need some more money? He thought he had the support, and that's where it gets dicey. If Van Horn and Hunter Yurachek's not on the same page, what does that do for their dynamic? I've been, we're talking about Choose Arkansas and stuff. You're talking about how much what they're trying to do to their own. Now they're being embraced for it. They're being embraced. They're being welcomed on what they're doing. But their thing is that their goal is to help the other sports like baseball, softball. They're doing a big initiative for women's sports and what Choose Arkansas wants to do. Been talking to a lot of people on the board and stuff. And, their visions, when I've been talking to him, our visions, me and your visions align directly with their visions. They want to support women's sports, and they want to go for the sports that aren't getting the football money and the basketball money. They want to help out. So that's going to be things. If I know Choose Arkansas at first, it kind of got off shaky ground, but if you want to support something that goes straight to NIL, you want to support something that where the money's going, you want to support something that's going to help the programs like the baseball program, softball program, women's basketball. He had an event and he tried to get me to get some players of all these other sports, these secondary sports. You need to sign up with Choose Arkansas and get with them on how you can help them, because that's going to be the way that changes a lot of this stuff, is because what David and his team have, he's getting a team going. It's going to be good for the university because they want to help out the underdogs. They want to help out the people that Hunter Yurachek doesn't want to help out. But that's what it's going to take. It's going to take, I've heard, a rough estimate. If baseball just had about another $500,000, they could be back in Omaha. Softball could have another $200,000-$300,000. It's not like they're asking for millions. Like, you're saying you want to raise $30 million and put all these names on the stadium, which none of that goes to NIL. You signed Walmart and Tyson to be on the stadium. None of that goes to NIL. You got a raffle. None of that goes to NIL. You're seeing all these things and all this fundraising. And you have tennis who got started back, but that's even being handcuffed. Is the baseball program being handcuffed? I mean, pretty much, other than Cal telling Hunter Yurchek, get out of my way, I've got this. Mm-hmm. All the other sports they're playing with one hand tied behind their back.
Well, in basketball also, I read a report that John Tyson signed a 3-year deal to stay on as the CEO or whatever of Tyson.
Yep, John Abels, I've seen him report that. And how many years does
Tyson has 3 more, or Calipari has 3 more years on the contract. So it's convenient. So basketball is taken care of. These other sports, and football's getting everything else. These other sports need the help, and they're not going to get it from whatever fundraising Hunter Yurchek and the athletic department do. It's going to come from somebody like Choose.
Going to the stadium upgrades or whatnot. They're not going to do anything for the NIL. So. And that's why we need to change. We need a change at the head, at the top, and we need to bring somebody in here who wants to, because guess what? All we're going to do is fall behind. So and almost, if you want to read the tea leaves, you got 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I would be even, we're talking about Dave Van Horn. Does he have 3 more years?
I mean, we had said 4 to 5 last year. So, I mean, we're at that point that now it's 3 to 4. I mean, we're going to be in a spot in the next, or after 3 years, that there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. Mm-hmm. Because if you have Calipari that decides to retire, which he could stay on, I mean, he could do whatever. But if he decides to retire, and then you have DVH who decides to retire, you've got 3 years to do something in those 2 sports to set yourselves up for their replacements.
Yeah.
So there's a timetable on this.
And you see how the baseball team, I mean, again, just the baseball and all the other sports and Cal, getting this to where we can get on track and get to where Arkansas, because that's what Hunter Yurchek doesn't realize. Look what they're selling in tickets. Look what the attendance is. Look what everything that could generate money for you when you suck at football. Your basketball team, they're still trying to get to that Final Four. Baseball, we've seen what happened with baseball. But think about if this was 21 all over again. And I don't understand why he doesn't see that as if he spends this money in 2 to 3 years getting the NIL in order. You'll never have to worry about selling another ticket again. And that's why a big reason why he needs to go, because he can't see that. If you got to, if in 27 or 28, if you got Arkansas athletics to the point to where it was in 21, you would never, and that was your baseline. That's where you were. You'll never have to worry about making revenue again. Mm-mm. We're going to renovate Bud Walton Arena. Yes. We're going to add whatever to the football stadium. Yes. Because they want to win. They want to see a winning program. Mm-hmm. But you're ass backwards, however you want to say it in this. You want to spend the money and then hope the wins come. You got to get the wins to come first.
And when the money will come.
Mm-hmm. The money will come. If you build it, they will come. And he doesn't see that. And it's almost like what we talked about in the first segment. He's stuck in his ways, and there's so much decisiveness between him and his people, his coaches and his staffs and stuff. You're letting somebody like Choose Arkansas come in, and the conversations we've had, they're going to be the one that starts this initiative, and they're going to be like, you know what? Hey, we'll do it on our own. We got this. We don't have to answer anybody because we're a private entity. We're going to raise NIL money. We're going to give them the people the money. We'll do it on our own. And all that's going to do is force his hand to be like, they don't need me. Everybody's doing and outsourcing it. But then again, maybe he's that lazy that he wants that to happen. It'd be just something less that he has to do and just keep collecting the $1 million.
Well, I just wonder too. I mean, we've talked about the resume building, and obviously, I mean, adding a national championship or something's going to up your resume. But I think there's something in there that's making sure the athletic department is in the black, being one of the top revenue grabbing athletic departments in the country. There's something there that he's so focused on.
Yeah, something's going on. Something ain't right because, he wants to be on the college football committee and he wants to do this and he wants to do that. But it's like, if I'm a business owner or if I'm somebody wanting to bring him on board, I'm like, what'd you have to do? Like, your baseball program's set. You had to coach for 20 something years. He's got this team going to Omaha all the time. Check. What's your basketball program like? Well, we got John Tyson giving us money hand over fist, and we're getting all the top recruits in the country. Check. Where's your football team at? Crickets. Mm-hmm. What's happening with all your women's programs? Well, we went from competing and going to the national tournaments to we're not even winning SEC games anymore.
But we got a new 18-wheeler though.
Yeah.
We're gonna make posts about that, the new 18-wheeler, spending money there.
Bless their hearts. Yeah, it's all again. First segment ties into this on a smaller scale because we're all Razorback fans in some way, some form, some fashion. We all want Arkansas to be successful. We want everybody to come together. And again, we're not together. We have a guy that he wants it done his way, and he doesn't want to be proven wrong. Or if he does prove wrong, he's not going to admit it. And until that changes, Link U. What's Link U? What is going on with that? And you talk about saving money. We've said it ad nauseum. What are you doing paying all these GMs? What have they done? What's the football GM done? What kind of roster does the football program have? I feel for Ryan Silverfield. And hopefully in October, November, we're eating crow and they can get to a bowl game. But I don't see it happening. Mm-mm. But this year, mark my word, we've said it on other shows and how our bold statements have been. This is going to be one of, if not the most important year we've seen in a while for this athletic program, because let's say softball fails to get to the World Series. Let's see if they fail to get the team that they want to get back to Oklahoma City. Let's see if football goes 2-10 again. What happens if baseball doesn't make it to the supers again? And then what if basketball? I mean, they're the only thing holding this thing on by a thread. How many more coaches are going to be here if you're not getting the support?
And I didn't think about this. Why aren't they advertising on the 18-wheeler? It's going to be driving around everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I know you'd throw Tyson and Walmart on it.
Yeah,
but
probably.
I mean, why wouldn't you throw like JB Hunt, et cetera, on there? Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know.
Sell space on that.
Well, I mean, hell, if they're trying to sell spaces on a bathroom door or office doors, I mean, maybe you can have your name on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. We got more coming again. Honestly, Adam, I can't believe how fast the summers went by. We're already in high school dead period for 2 weeks. 4th of July is coming up. So we're getting close to talking season, AKA SEC Media Days. We're getting close to things really ramping up. Before we know it's going to be football season. So, we're halfway through offseason already.
Yeah.
So looking forward to all the many other conversations we have. We'll go more randomness next week. I know we just had a lot we want to get off our chest with this World Cup thing on tonight's episode. We hope everybody enjoyed that and they can learn from it and they can take from it. But every week and then football season, we'll go to 2 shows. We'll see what days we can do that with work and all that. We'll schedule around that. But Adam, got anything else before we wrap it up?
I do not.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight for this special episode of the Hog Talk podcast. Keep watching the World Series. Keep on watching the World Cup. It's still 2-0, I believe, top of third. Let me see if that's refreshed, if that's real time or not. Yeah, 2-0 OU. So hopefully, for the sake of Arkansas baseball, UNC comes back and wins this thing. But anyways, Adam needs to sell a sponsor for the new mic stand.
I do. I need.
There we go.
Still holding it. Yeah.
All right. Well, for Adam Hall, I am Porter Hayes. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Want to thank all of our sponsors. And again, if you want to give, Choose Arkansas is the way. Go get on their website. Get with them to see how you can support. Everything's going to NIL. None of it goes to the toilet seat. And we'll catch you on Monday.